Welcome to the live. This is SYLVESTER BEKOE, broadcasting with our official channel, Mission and Ministries, SYLVESTER on YouTube. Welcome another time to the live screen, the live session that produces energy efficiency, capability, making the very renewable sources into a new place where we need it, commanding the good, what we say is good, and also repelling what we say is bad. And when bad becomes also reusable, that we may recall it. That is such a word the Lord also gave his angels to broadcast only what is in their plans. Yet I'm not instructed on how to go about it. That is such a freedom, you can say the dominion to understand, the dominion to speak in the mind from the law. So the mind from the law, what already the law is such as you have a book and religion, keeping some of the things we say instructionally, you get up daily and be guided or being placed on the most needed information that should also lead you to what the Lord designates, where you have been appointed and where you don't have to operate. Do you also agree that the law cannot do us a great service? Then, if I understand very well, decoding the names, energy, forces, and what attribution it is also to offer what I am to say, if to profit human, where is the profit? So, in this case, regardless, for what I want to say, either from the left or the right, up or on the level, or from that below, I want to have it. And that is where I got a healing. So as I'm saying the words, I'm listening, paying attention in the spirit of myself, which is the Lord and the law. What I speak or utter should bring what I need and what the Lord needs. That's what I agree. So if we go out or just would say, I've been empowered to talk or to broadcast the news. What is the news about? Is the news going to send us where he, the Lord, predestined? What is reserved in the scriptures? You need to really understand. If the Lord give you no understanding, you are not the one he asked that. You read out or put people under guidance for claim to be instructing or commanding or controlling. If one portion of this text, character, predestined, behavioral aspect is not giving you, you can do any part of it. So that is what we say, if it takes only 1% out of 100, it's 99%. That's where the corruption is right now. So that you see the voice rattling. So if I hadn't dialed to that place, how would you know what is wrong? So you may be ministering with wrong, defile, yet you know not. Or you have to say you're doing it because you taught, doing it or talking and reading the books, claiming certain titles, you want to say that you're doing the right thing. But when I come to look at what you've done in the law, the light, and the life, I have to know what area is not doing well. You won't tell me the angel or the Lord or what your supremacy is. Was he not with you? Was he not the same person you mentioned in the conversation? So watch here. Won't delay as no delay. Yet I said when you rush, you won't get what I'm doing. Because no Lord is talking to this. No angel is talking to this. It is how we prepare the modern world that is become what it is. You cannot tell me I have to do this, do that. You have to learn to know that already I'm the great one. I will look at even the word great. Already, which heaven have a great one. So if I have descend on this either L and level, you tell me there's anybody greater than myself. You know, benefit of the doubt. Oh, I've been born. I have to grow. Gone through times, challenges. You didn't know my challenge and suffering because my flesh wasn't your flesh. However, to help yourself in understanding what we are saying, the good you've done to this or the wrong, that will tell if you have really caused a problem or you have built a load. So Watch now. The topic right there, the caption or the title is actually what to see some of the gods, the spirit, the energies, what they may claim the Lord has given. Do you think I will sit here waste time on things that I say which won't profit the Lord? I don't think so. So on this live, you have to know if what I'm saying connect with you. Even first to the cloud and universe. We have many of them that claim they are created. Yet you have to only test. How do you test? Unless you observe the law. Unless you are predestined. Because there are some challenges or battles you cannot fight. That's why it required also the angel. So if you came and you saw angel Gab, if you came and you realized angel Ra, these are the original sources of the Lord. To be born from Ra, which is Sunday or Saturday or Tuesday, like how we came, that name. If we came, let's say, from the throne, this is it. The Lord called himself into his own office. That you cannot say, you not been born one of us, and then you are the one it is given to talk about us. You don't do that. So, quickly, let's get to the brokers' life. Who built what? Why did they claim? Let's take a look. So, in the first place, we are decoding, as I told you, it won't just be a name. So let's take a look at what it is in the world view, and then in the heaven above and the heaven below. So if I say heaven above, there's a little corruption again, ascended, was ascending, corrupted right there. So such place, if indeed what I need is not found there, I don't think I have to go there. However, my going there should be very as important to them as the only one who can heal them also. Not to say I am going to church or I worship and the Lord and the Bible and then I need to go to heaven. It doesn't work like that. What am I going to do at heaven now? If you are the angel, you will know your service. Or who uses the path or the road that the Lord made? If you understand your rule and the role you play, you would be the only one to get it done. Let's not delve waiting on more time. Now, in ancient cosmogonies or in ancient cosmogonies, describe the creation from this aspect, the heavens and earth. That if heaven, he that is heavens, when he talks, the one who is having ear, let him hear. That's the meaning of heaven and earth. So the purpose for voice and the one who hear, that is it. Voice and the one who hear the voice. That's what you are saying, heaven and earth. So that when you go to the dwelling place of the one who voiced, and then the ear will be directed to that place the sound is coming from. That's what it means, heaven and earth. Again, if you didn't know that, watch here. Because the ear and the time hospitality has always been the connection to heaven. As there was the separation of what? Chaotic. Now, primordial element also with the ex-divinity forces, energy, or you have the thoughts. Now, key ancient names include Nun. So that they told you one of the prophets' mom's or mother's name was Nun. Which of the prophets had a mother name called Nun? You have to know it. So if you have it Nun or Nun, you can put it in any five as it is. So you have Nun. Even if I have to sound it in the archangel of my language, the heaven. You know, I don't just speak a language. I don't just have a language. I have to look at what it is. When let's say if I pronounce it and it's not getting us a healing, I don't think we have it as a thought. So this is how you cannot just say I'm driving. No, I cannot just drive. So the nun or nun or nu. So that in Queen, I told you last time we have mentioned that nu, it's for what? To drink. Yes. So that's why we're selecting things pertaining to life. I'm selecting my words, like you can see that I'm not rattling the speed because I'm in a very deeper, no, I'm not to say deep, like it contains that. However, I'm wide, like wide coverage area, like the source I'm supposed to connect with, how it should be, so that you can see that I'm really seated here, but I'm not as here. When you look at this, because I'm taking from source connected. If the source I have to visit is corrupt, there is none higher than sitting here. Who do we want to say that built this very excellent mansion or put up this mansion here? Well, whilst I'm on this awesome level, I need to prove it. So let's prove it. So, also primordial Egyptian water. You see? So that is in Konya, that will also have it new. So we got it originally, even from beginning to say source, to say new. So to new means to drink. So that when you want to drink water, originally, so that's it, is without corruption from my language. So, new. Like this, we got it. So that is what? Primordial Egyptian water. So even to say water, when you need to drink, then it tells you the Sumerian woman and the Christ or Yeshua. Well, also go on. Now, we have the Atum. This, we have also mentioned the Atum and the Hawen and all of that. Yet, very prominent also to this very moment. So what it says Atum or Ra. In Atum or Ra, they are what? Self-created Egyptian and what? Chaos or that we have Apeiron or Apeiron. You know how we create ourselves is indeed. You cannot say that you have been given what I'm doing now. No. What I'm doing now only concerns right now. Like, if I want to say I've been given something, no. You won't get it. Because I'm yet to connect. So that's why you needed the live feed with the law and the spirit element. It won't be that somebody telling you. If somebody tells you there's reserve, more reserve. And that is when an angel speaks to you, you heard it. But which of them do you think you are on your level in understanding that he's operating with you? That is where you have more work to do. But if I'm the one getting the things or getting the elements at the factory, fetching it to the level. So the word that we begin to talk about, who create? That, why? Because I tell you, I create. And I create myself and Koya, we create. So if you don't know who create, the owner for creation or reality is myself, who came to show it. While we can sit here in live and then we perform the cloud or the earth. Wow, we hear the Lord. And the great one at the angle here. Very excellent. Wow. I just have to do that because when I look at the works from generation to generation, I have to just honor the sun, the sons, the nous. That is why you want to say the sons, the sons. You have to know what they've done. If you should set fire on just from one kitchen to keep that fire up without being consumed, without being destroyed, with no such issue, you don't have to have any repairer physically in flesh to go and do it than ourselves, the angels who did it. That's how I repair the sun or the fire or the element. That's how I reach out to them, like I'm just here in their connection. Now what? So that this what you want to say is what? Self-Egyptian, like self-created Egyptian son or creator. You see that it's in relation to just exactly what it is. These are the creators. So we are looking at what create what and what create who. That's it. In Egypt, in US, and many other parts of the world that ever existed, this is the natural dressing, the code. So if you claim you are not ashamed of him, he said you put on how he dresses it. That's angels. But that also not to the fact that when you see any other religion dressed like this, that you want to say is the same Lord who have given them what I'm saying. No. It won't be like that. Based on copy and pasting, you can see such things that I can say it is with my name, like World Run, Universe World. It is higher than you have a university in a country. This one is talking about what? A certificate for world universe, not a country university certificate. So this one contains, look at the portion to call the country here. If you have a university, look at how small it is in this area. Yeah, that is what is also leading you to do things in the world and in your country. However, this is covering it like how I can come up. You just watch carefully. This is guaranteed. Official. The ones who race, who understand the race. So these are the kind of people you can say race or races. Those who are on the speed, they know what is calling for what at the time needed. So I told you that selecting my language or words or tongues, it won't be somebody trying to corrupt it. Not at all. It won't be that. So get continuing the state lectures. So state lectures right here. So we just have to say we found as it is given. So if you're not a Sunday, how are you going to say that? If you're not the ones who speak the language, as also here, how would you know that? So every generation that we show you, well, now we also have the Tiamat, or the Apsu, or the As. You want to say it is. You can't call any of this God. The name God is on itself. You are claiming. You can't say that Tiamat is what you are saying is God. It's not like that. You can't say Ra is what you are trying to say is God. No. You can't call their name by one person who doesn't come from their name or generation. However, you are trying to say one of them. That is it. But not to attribute the best of every work to a God when the God doesn't accept what I am as Sunday birth, originally living flesh. When I keep claiming, you say no, let him make him rather dirty. And the people who claim to go to church in all the various religions, they are the one the spirit and bad spirit are being used to make unclean or to defile the virgin. Who are you to talk to this where you are not a virgin? And you were told that in the same misery and to where it connects the honor, where we have the angel communication, only holy, like only keeping the rule will have the connection like this. That's what I've been expecting. Nobody else apart from what? The word and the law and who he present to us. You can say I'm talking of a white person, that you bring opposite white. You can say I'm talking about rainbow, that you bring rope. No. No. Even the voice says no. The voice says no. No. You see that when I'm broadcasting, they bring in somebody to the house as if they are the one doing what I'm doing. It's not true. They are not the one we are calling. We haven't named anybody here. We are talking about my name, Sunday. There's nobody in the house here called Sunday, or at the factory here to be Sunday. You can't do that. That is wrong. So I'm not one of them or angels who comes to add to what? Suffering, to multiply suffering. I don't bring anybody suffering. Because how I carry my fire, my element to the street and on street in the world, to the world and universe, do you even know how wide my coverage and frequency is? That which I do, what I cannot do, I will tell you now I cannot do it. Or I will leave it at times and time will decode. Or when the opportunity presents itself, I have to just honor it. That's it. So what we're saying here has nobody's name, nobody's father's name here. Because we are not talking about people who have no land. What is reserved here if there's nobody to read and learn and create it, or especially the spirit or the angel who we mentioned. Nobody can say we are in the group of house of family of somebody. I don't have any family name with somebody. My family cannot be given to another family. I didn't come from such family. Me and my family have not produced such things. So you cannot wear it to what? Where I came from, different. Not by blood, nor by calling, nor by tribe. We don't have anything. I don't have anything like that. So what reserve the word and the spirit, they are the ones I will need. There's nobody in this country who can say that he is the one who reserved or who received what the Lord has presented here. We are not calling. anybody to come to the level here where we're praying. So I'm not the Lord you have trusted to be doing wrong thing when you are wrongdoer. I'm not a part of it. I'm not the Lord you have trusted to be what? Fulfilling your vision and dreams, which have nothing to do with Sunday or the January or from kingdom, even as nationwide, to understand your level, what you were given. I haven't thrown my identity away to go for somebody. You are not the one selecting my path for that which I have to do. It's my own light and reflection and spirit. You didn't make yourself available as an element that I may have profit from, yet I've been able to make this thing work. You cannot have my goodness called by your name or your force to say you are the one healing, whereas you have no knowledge of what is healing. I create what I do. I have nobody giving it out like this. So if you have yourself being mentioned here, it means you've done what nobody else have done. So don't allow people to override on your prophecy, which is the law, instruction. What I keep my yes to yes, when I say no is no. You can't tell me there's any religion that is saying I should be this. He is not the one quickening this. When he get up and feed himself, he has not fed it. You have no right to cross my lane. I have not been born mixture of blood. I am not blood mixed. I came from my own birth, origin, creations, higher level that no force on this earth have ever been born. They may have such powers, spirit, doing things, but nobody has ever been born in flesh to flesh to become what I'm saying, to be again in that place it came from. Nobody. I'm the one telling you. I am the one telling you. I say I'm the one on this earth. I have not given my place for anybody to abuse and call this rather low or your second person. I'm not a brother to a twins. Yes, you can't call it here abomination. You won't bring it here. I'm not using one of your eyes to watch as it is here complete. That's what it's here. I don't call you the one to try to spoil this one a brother. Know that you are enemy already. You will be destroyed. That's the word. When I'm learning or earning L, I want to understand how far, or like driving and watching how many kilometers you've driven. To check also, the fuel level so that you don't get out of the contest and then, or the race. That's mindful of that. That's very conscious. So watch here. Very interesting. Now I can sense some people having cold, like, not that it's cold, that's the spirit of fears in their flesh, indwelling the flesh. And I'll be the one to know it. Yeah, so I'll be the one to know it. When we get into work, then they call it the Muslim issue. So to be continued, let's get to the level where the Lord is showing you a direct path. I can't speak a voice that is of my enemy. You don't have to have my fire. You have to have my flesh form a part of yours. That's corruption. if I'm the one ministering, I have to know what is available that I'm ministering. You cannot say the Lord gave you the right to pray anything. It is reserved what you should pray about. The Lord didn't say that you come and pray what you want in the world. Where it is that you should pray asking Him, from Him in His Father, that you may be given. And the Lord, even that is His Father, says what? He supplied the needs according to His riches. So if the Lord have no a billion, you won't go and be asking for a billion, that He should give you a billion when you don't know what is billion. Even the Lord and the Spirit, they are calculating how they should give and how much they should give. You cannot say there's a kind of magic that you don't understand the rule, and then we are just saying it should happen anyhow. By that which you think you believe. And that you have to have maybe somebody trying to lead you to say, bring your 100 million, and then you get 200 billion or whatever. That is not the path the Lord laid. That's not how He's showing you how to understand in time what is available, what you need. Even in time to understand Him, every other need is with Him, what you should do and what you cannot do. He, the Lord, cannot give. Like, if I will give you just 10 cities, or $10, or 50 cents, or 100 cents. So there's a healing with the name 50 cents. The healing has really been reserved right there. Yeah, you see that how small you want to say is that value. But that alone is what? Is with energy. That is with energy. So that keeps up the healing. Now, continuing to say this. Now, that, if the Tiamat, like we call it, all right, and we have to have what? The word here also that goes for Heka or Heka. And Heka is also what? Is an Egyptian magic or superpower that you want to say, and chaos or Apeiron, even to say in the Greek. Now, in ancient Egyptian creation forces, Kemet, you have to know this. Know very well that my enemy cannot call my good business with his own disturbance or misunderstanding. When I do that, you look at what will happen today. Look at what will happen from this time that we are doing it. Because the Lord is with myself, as some of them are also in waters. And I'm just supposed to know how this flesh will know what you are and where you are. Is the mighty things ever, mighty creation ever existed. So in ancient Egyptian creation forces, or you want to say Kemet, watch it, that the noon or the nun, that the primordial what? Primordial, chaotic, dark, watery abyss, from what? From which life, they are saying, trying to generalize it to every life that would emerge. Now, we also have what? Atum or Ra, where it says what? The self-created supreme sun god, who emerged from noon to what? Initiate creation atoms. There were the bear mood. You got it right? The bear mood. Not somebody's name to be placed here in this modern time. Because whatever you are seeing, whatever you are having, you cannot share my good fruit with somebody's family or because of the name they have. I have my own in the house. I won't even sound it there. Mine is the one working at Zoe Outreach Church, at the television. He is a minister himself. So I can't use somebody whose home have not schooled to replace it. That's why we say whatever you do, we have the best and you are calling it opposite defiled. That's why it's showing where it is. He operated at the Medina and then the CP, Kaswa CP Junction. And he's on my channel. He's on my channel. He's not, so we don't have anybody who have no school, who doesn't speak English language, who doesn't write, who is not in the public relation officer position to be doing it. We are on the live television, healing people and interceding. That's my home. My home have no shrine, any stone whatsoever. It doesn't connect there. I'm the one telling you what I have to say it is. And one also with one of the television, all of that. I don't want to talk. This one, because of the name, so that it won't sound to you somebody corrupt who doesn't know anything about what English or language or what historically you can travel anywhere with what we're saying, as you don't have any knowledge of it. That's what I'm saying. You think you call the names to be with you on the wrong side, yet the best person is in the house somewhere, doing the service that I'm doing here. Yet I'm the one giving meaning to what they are doing, so that the spirit is realized. When you fail to honor spirit and to obey spirit, it will go against you. That's why if you live to what? To the spoil, who are practicing some kind of spirit, it will affect you even when you claim you have been given by the Bible or by the law to claim you are clean. Somebody can make you dirty. when you fail to do the spiritual work. And the fact that somebody can also make you dirty doesn't mean some of the spirits are not dirty. That is right. It is the spirit. Like you testing, that's why you need to have the cleanliness, soap, water, all of that. Don't say that you go to a point they say you shouldn't bath, so it's become a spirit cultivated that you are reaping, that you don't bath. No, I don't do that. You can't bring it here. I don't do that. So watch carefully that you are not led to that opposite. This name here, as you are looking at, like you was a Neben. So that is Nib. So when it's a Neb, that's where the forces energy is. So if I see it like this and I don't call it what it is, I have what it is in reality. Neb. So Neb, release my kingdom right away on the channel. That is excellent. So if you don't follow, that will heal the spirit and the blood and the impulse of all of the light. You cannot tell me that you didn't go to school, yet you have what is from a school. They have to judge you. How did you get it? You cannot have it. Now what? So don't think my home is with somebody's home who doesn't school. We have a level of any school in my home. Level of any spirituality from heaven with myself, original one. That not somebody's stone. We can't say we created mountain and then you pick up stone or rock from the mountain and you are telling me that is what created the world. Or you want to say you know better than the one who look at the mountains. When I'm mountains and you are home with a stone, let me show you a stone. Hold on. So that if you think that is one of them, then I have better showing you that one. Let's get it. What is this? You say this? You say there's sediment? You say the stone? That's a stone, right? Do you know what it weighs? Did I have to go to mountains or outside somewhere to bring stone when I have to measure it? If one of these things you think created you, I don't have this anywhere on my level. Look at how many hands or fingers are holding it. Just one like this. As heavy as it is, you don't know what it can cause damage, right? The damage it can cause in your flesh, notwithstanding how you look at the very mountain. Yes, you have to get to the knowledge and spiritually and grab it. So if they say you should test, look at what the Lord is directing you to test and why. That's why sometimes you may be asking, Lord, why this? Lord, this. That is it. You have to, oh, Spirit of the Lord, why this? Am I permitted to do this? If I may ask, do I even have the right to know you? Why are you knocking at my gate or my door when you know I have not, maybe I have not even 1,000, and you asking for maybe 100,000? What kind of temptation it is? If I should ask, is this become a stone or rock or fetish? That's somebody's shrine. That's somebody's fetish. That's somebody believing he has been made from this. But that's not what we are saying here, because I'm decoding those things. If I have to just grab a stone or rock, I have it. So let me tell you, I have had to go on one of the mountains, and when I returned, I came with it. So that if I told you I don't have stones in my home, it's because we don't have stones there. So what do? If I build a house, they say we need a foundation. And that which is solid like this, you build it on. And then I show you houses that I build. Houses that I build like this, right here. That's what makes the presentation. So you cannot build this house on something that does not work. You cannot build this home or mansion on just a clay or water without any solidity or anything that resists or withstands that kind of force. Even that the word says what? Building a house on a rock, that when there's any shaking, that won't affect you having it. Or that should be a rock or flat that washes or drain you off the lane, that you cannot go and build in the valleys. This is the opposite. That is the opposite. So the entire opposite word, that I don't want to talk too loud, and the loudness is this: when you find it, you keep. So I'm not the one leading people to do the wrong thing. Yet if you know what is wrong, what you have done to this flesh, that they may do to you, don't say there's something wrong. You right wrong, and you did wrong. So that's how the world is. You can say that you have having somebody to mediate or intercede on your behalf. knowing what you have done, which isn't right, you are saying the same person you did it to, he should be the one they're referring to as what? The one who did wrong. What do you mean? In that case, you see that the force or your belief in your God is corrupt. And another God will judge him. That's what it is. If you have known all these names and forces and creators, what would you attribute to them as they are? They are having the creation. And when we come to live with angels, or when angel time comes, that's why you know who among them did create. And what they may say, you have to know it. If I talk and you see the rains, you have to know it because of these people. But you won't talk about them to make it rain, because you don't have any connection in reality with them. Now, if we have to say that, so I have to call a name better and high to the level that I can say I'm writing, I'm creating, and I'm talking about this, and not just saying we heal. It should be in my home. That's why we tell you, if you call any name, the best people, we made it. Not that it's in the corruption, how you got it. Like you got it in the wrong light, as somebody may be working and you think his name sounds good, you want to have. Do you even ask the Lord if you need it? So, Heka is what? So let's say Heka or Heka. Now, the fundamental magical energy of the universe that what? That under what? Pinned or other what? Or every existence, and was used by Atum. So the one you are saying, the and whatever, I don't want to say, you know, the ADAM, that's the same person whose name has been changed and changed like multiplying time like this. This ATUM, or you can say ATOM. That's why it's in the science, ATOM. So that's the same thing here. That's the same reason they have what? For AD, when it changes AD, AM, or any of this. That's what it is. Then you got the ADOM as that Atom FM. You don't know. That's what exactly is happening. Now, to do what? To bring the world into being. So I made sure that the world became what the Lord said it is. Like a future like this we live in. They didn't have any computers, TV, television, like caterpillars, things that facilitate working and keeping your rule. They didn't have all these things. And we also have a word like, we have another force like Peter. Now, the creator deity of what? The Morpheus, who was conceptualized creation in his heart. To say that you are meditating, but every other word, whatever you need to have work, is in that area of your heart. And where we have it, what? He heart. That's the state of his heart. How pure he created in himself. That creation, unless he give out from the heart to you, that deepest place, from the source of his life, that is what it's saying, that he should have given. So indeed it is. And this also brought to what? It into what? Being, as speaking with his what? Tongue. He didn't speak with leg. He had to speak with what they say is his own language. And what? And a concept similar to what? The Logos. That is Logos. So when you have, let's say, a place, a country in Nigeria that is saying Logos, you didn't know that all the names. We are telling you where it came from is a spirit. So you don't just have it like a name. That's why the Bible says what? For all the names of the nation of the world, they are idols. So when you don't know which one is idol, you are just thinking it's a country. No. I cannot travel any other part than US. And any other place in the world that I want to be. Now you have also the Amion. The Amion. Or you want to say Amion. The Amion is this. The Amion is this. That the hidden force or invisible omnipresent energy behind also what? Every other creation. Particularly in what? In the Theban theology. So if you know anything about Theban, whilst you're learning and discovering, it will bring it up what you need to focus on or areas you learn. Now you earn that as also Ma'at. So Ma'at, which is, do you agree? Ma'at goes on to say the divinity principle for such, you want to say Baal'ans or Baal'ans. I told you the word Baal'ans. You know what is Baal? The angels of Baal. Which you want to say you agree. The last time we say Pidre and all of that. That is what the children of Baal and their what level. But Baal wasn't actually related to what? Those things you have idolized. You see that myself being a human being, and you are trying to force to say we are rather not a human being. You are saying you are the one to make us invisible, other than ourselves living in the flesh. Having been born, that's why you are putting things in food for people to be eating and spoiling it, so that you say it's rather from marine. I'll never have myself from dirty rot. You better know it. I won't be carrying any of that, because I'm not born from water to be in water. My flesh doesn't like things that you don't know. I am not from dirty clothes. You are not the one who came together to birth this single person, one person. That is it. You cannot have it. So that in order to also order and harmony that maintain what? The created what? World against chaos. So if I'm saying the world should be in what? In the state of working other than what? Chaos. It is. So the channel and the one who is to obey and honor the law should have no such challenge than what you are learning to earn from the law, that you may know it, so that if you know it, you know what you studied, that the Lord said He will present to you. So if you trust the times in that faith, that you should know, so that when it is war time, you won't war against the one who are teaching or making known to you what you didn't know, their spirit. So when you couldn't understand has been the reason you have fallen from time behind, and you are with the wrong side and wrong things, I'm not one of that. So it is. So to have the world in this state, that ma'at or ma'at, that a different principle of the balance, order and what harmony, that what maintained the created world against chaos. And that we also have the og. Look at it. So if they have the word God from this, look at it. The ogdod, as you have it here, right there, that's a name. And it says what? That the queen, what is it again? That 8 primordial deities representing what? Representing the chaotic element, water, darkness, infinity, and then hiddenness. And hiddenness that existed before the first sunrise. Look at where it is. This level, this word, it is saying what? That existed before the first sunrise. That is very deep. To the deep stance, to talk of where you can track, not that level with Genesis. Not even to talk about those areas. Not even to talk about it, because Genesis is just recently. Yet it's for many years. Like you are saying the Yeshua issue for 2025, 26 years. Look at that. Just watch carefully down. Ancient near what? Eastern or Mesopotamian forces, and then you have the Sumerian. So these are the areas where the Lord had led his mission to. That is why you should focus on. Ask yourself, why would the Lord be with a conversation with what? Sumerian woman and a Samaritan. That is the life. The one who saved and the one who keep. These are the reserved virgins way. So where the Spirit lead you to, that is where the focus must be. As he is the strongest side, where it's most important to know it, so that we get in also save and relieve. Watch carefully this word. That we are in the world, this kind of world, and you don't have to have the level with enemy try to operate with you. So time is up with what? Next level. Let's get it. Quickly, we have other things to do. As it will be very interesting to know. So, if we have to say that the law is to lead in God. Now watch here. And we also have this word for the Tiamat and the Ap, as you say, Ap. The ape used to, like I say what? The Apsu. That's what it is. The Apsu. You know? It was a sound that somebody made as a name, but you represented it with just one letter or one number. That doesn't mean that when you are seeing A like this, or how I say AP, it means you are saying it's just letter like this. No, it is a complete name. If you write AP, it is a complete name like the sound you KWASI. That's what you are simply saying. So how do you sound KWASI in letters? If you want to represent KWASI, how do you represent it? Already they are themselves what they are. Like you are saying AP. AP is somebody's name. So AP Sus, right there. So it's what? That the primary chaotic what? Or the periodic chaos represented as what? As a union of salt water, as you call it, Tiamat, and what? Fresh water, how we call it. So you see that this had become what? A connection to somebody who had a name called, yet the Spirit worked those things. Like in the houses that we live, having well reserved, and they don't know anything about it. You see, the Spirit will lead the people to do things, yet they don't know what they've done. And that we will be the one to tell. That what has happened is the Spirit that did, but you don't know that Spirit. Because once you don't have knowledge about this, they'll say, well, then it's just like when the right time comes, you will know what did what. Why you have to honor the law? You make, let's say, well in your home, yet you have no reason, and what spirit even make what? The well. However, they're giving you names of somebody you don't ever know about, because you don't have any knowledge whatsoever that should make you what? Understand. So when the Spirit himself comes to play the role or try to what? Move in a level with you, it doesn't mean you know them. You don't know them. They know somebody they needed in that area to communicate to other people. So that until the right person comes, you don't know what you've done. That's why the poet said, you don't know what you've done. So your word cannot go against the one that is what? Is to deliver. So watch here. And there we saw there's also Namu. So the Namu is also that the Sumerian goddess representing the primal sea that brought forth what? Heaven and earth. You see, as for this name, Namu says what? They brought about what? Heaven and earth. That is the level you have to understand what is Namu or Namu. So when you are beginning to speak languages that you don't understand, they said find out what you are saying. There may be some of these things you are doing which you don't know. How should I get punished when you go and sin against any of the names here? I'm not the one we got. We are not one family. And also we have the Marduk or the Marduk. So the Marduk, that is what the Babylonian also God or the Babylonian force. You see that when we get to where we are saying God or Goddess, they are beginning to name it as God or Goddess. But initially, where we have mentioned it, you have to know what? Knowing that they are not called God. They are who they are. So this level that they are saying, oh, God or goddess, then you're getting it. Now the goddess what? Let's see, that the Babylonian god, or the Babylonian, I don't even say God, the Babylonian God, that's what it is. The Babylonian God, or the 90s, or the 60s, who defeated Tiamat and split her body into two to create what? The heavens and the earth. You see, that's how somebody destroyed somebody again to make heaven. Yet another person also make heaven and earth from the water issue. Like it's a many situations that made it. So you couldn't say that what you know to be in the church, you want to say they created. No, it's just one of them you are being told they are. But the original source and who created is this you are hearing, talking to you. Because I know what they are saying. So having also, watch here now. So we also have the an, and then anu, and then ki. Now this as regarded the sky god or the sky 90s or 60s. An and earth goddess. Ki. So when you say they call somebody king, it is marriage to what? To say the throne on earth. That's a, of course that's the only relation you can draw. So that the word or the letter Ki was not what you understand. That Ki alone is the name called goddess or the god or the 60s or the 90s. That is why they have it for the word king. So the word already, the key, so the key is what we are referring to. The key priest. The key priest, all of that. It wasn't how you spell it to any end, but just to know the Ki was the only reason that the name had been represented. That represented what? The separation of the heavens from the earth. You see, this is how creation works. Then we also have Enlil. So Enlil, which is, when you go to Nkonya, like I told you, Enlil and Enlil and Enke, all these people are supernatural in our language. Yet the people who speak it, they don't also know, because they have never had any level like this. That's what they say, until the Lord return, before you know what you've been saying, that He will teach and guide every other thing. That's what it is. So that the Enlil means what? That the God or the 60s or the 90s of what? Wind, earth, who separated the heaven from what? From the earth, and created space for life. That is exactly in Konya. You are seeing it. That I go with earth. That I'm the only one who can make it happen. But not to say everybody that is from Nkonya. You know, when you say descendants and generation of somebody, but that it concerns only the one that the Lord made, that the earth should operate, should bear with. That's why you've been seeing this, and then you brought somebody who doesn't come from our generation to be spoiling things. And you don't know whatever is spoiled in the kingdom you were not born. You already, I don't think you understand the level and the punishment and distraction that you find. You don't have anywhere to be called among us or to be any of us. So also watch here. Now, Greek and other ancient cosmogonies, as we have the chaos, that the chaos here, the chaos. Why they call something chaos and all of that? You should know that, know very well, that the unformed what? Unformed, shapeless. You see, these are the very word that never fails. So hold on. So when it says that the unformed, which is to call it chaos, or the KWASI, or SYLVESTER, or you want to say XOS. So these are the things. So this is a word that also begot XOS, SOS, OS system, all of that. So the origin spirit, that's what made the creation possible, that you are seeing transmission and all of those things. With their names and function and role they play, and where they create or put it. So the white people or the technology, they have had to work, they have worked so well that it is tangible in the hand. You know, there are some people who have, let's say, the superpower, yet it couldn't become material thing or something tangible you can touch or feel or use. Yet they can say, oh, let's say, You separate this, you make this, you do this, but you don't have it as forever with you. Like you saw maybe something once, and that is all, or that ends it. But this generation, we're able to keep and make it. So that's why understanding is working. The understanding leads to any other avenues. Even as you watch the clouded phone, right, as very necessary. If I do this work, I don't think I should be the one what somebody will punish, because I'm making known to the world what is available, reserved. That's what exactly I have to do, so I'm doing it. And that is where I resist and rebuke any unclean force. If you have your name here mentioned, this one, maybe you are just one of them. How about the many others? So that's creation. You couldn't take the place of all these people. They have differences, dominion, that they have different powers, functionality. You can say you are maybe tree god or somebody's god. No, no, no. What I'm doing is what makes Nkonya where nobody can stand, except you are given. So what? So while we are doing this, people are also going around with scissors, metal and all that. I said we will never do any of this thing here. That if I should do it for healing, but I won't do it. So if I welcome the life, you say, what is the function of this tool? That is claw hammer, right? So what is the function? What is its function? If I am not a worker, if I am not an engineer, how do you expect myself to have it? I have been using things or tools and equipment for building. Maybe today, first time you're saying it. Do I have to go and borrow? Or whilst I work, I buy those things that I may need to keep up the works and continue building. So if you come and pick up those things, those elements, those machinery that were for building a nation, and it's with you the wrong person, and you tell us we are rather the one who go and pick it up on sale, you don't see it. You don't see it. Do you see us on street somewhere? Who is indeed one of us that you know that look like this, that can speak the language that I speak, or the tongue? Who are you to even mention a force that you do not know? What are you like? You have to tell yourself what wrong you have done. So if you call the Lord that create a bad luck, you will find bad luck. Because I would even say, let it be, according to your word. But that, unfortunately, the bad luck, I will decode it to have function in this. The word will show you what it is. If there is nobody controlling things and flow and how things should be, you won't have it even as it is written in the Bible. So as far as we have lived many generations without you seeing us, that is how you have lagged behind times. That is the reason. Because if I didn't come in flesh, you won't see all these things happen. You hope that they said it will be. And the Lord said it won't fail when his own is indeed elected for such work. So if I'm indeed somebody who carry the goods or the word side, like the war battles, to prevent and to allow it, when I have to prevent and when I have to allow some of this functioning, you have to know it. why I have to do it. So in order to get on, that we mentioned this very emerged. So we also have the demiurge. The demiurge, that is also in Pluto's. So in the Pluto, that's why sometimes we feel in the presence of ice, some of the things. Yeah, because they want us to mention them. So to have energy given to Pluto right now, once is a part of it, that's what forms the creation. When their energies mix, how I mix it or how we do it, and how I keep my fire, that will bring the creation to what it is, what the Lord is expecting. So as time instruction and how things are laid and what meditation or how conscious I am, those elements or those forces, when I word with them, the creation will be what it is. That's how time is working. So that in Pluto's time years, you see, Pluto's time years, a craftsman who ordered the chaotic elements into the universe. You see, like I'm just saying it. That's all myself again. You know, like just saying it there, you know the person. That I have to say it first, even before we get to know the definition that they're trying to give. Now we also have the Apeiron, which is what? That proposed also by what? Another Anaximander as the what? As the unlimited or boundless divinity substance from which every other thing is generated. And we also have the yin and yang. In ancient Chinese philosophy, the contemporary or the complement opposing and independent forces whose interaction create and sustain the universe. So you read it. And also we have the Pancha Mahabhata. In Hindu philosophy, the 5 great elements that we have: the Brahman and the earth, we have the Apas, which is water, and we have the Agni, which is fire, and then the Vayu, which is earth, and Akasha, which is what? Ether or space. So to have this rock on which we dwell in ether level, that is what. So the ether level cannot fail to function the best right there. So that the creation continues. So like we have another thing here, we got the core principles of creation. So let's get to this quickly. Core principles. So that would interest the portion or subject right here. Now we have separation. Should be very important. So that most traditions, including Egyptian, Shu, you see why they got the name Yeshua, Hamashish, and all of that. The Shu, and then the Shua. These were the things or the elements that they got this name from. So wherever there's any writing for an angel or the king or the great one, the names those people use are the names that become the creation element, because they have had to live with those names to have the spirit itself make known themselves. How they select names and giving names, that is what made it happen. That is in Korean English. So that Shu separating Gabe, or Shu separating what? Gib, and Nut, or you want to say Nut. Also, you want to say, and Mesopotamia, Anu, separating heavens and earth. Also, this one says focus on separating initial elements to create space. You see how the world was created before us? Many of them claiming. So every one of them, at least, why you know those who create, they are the one talking about how they created the world. You can't attribute the world that was created by somebody already known to one person. You are saying he is the one and only God. No. Where is he? Then why not come and work and let's see? There they told you. So the one who returned, you have to see that particular one return in the real authority. So welcome to the stream again and the live. I just did a couple of things on the live and you realize that my voice released and like I've done creation in myself to make available why I present or why Sylvester present. So this is the infinite creator sitting here, and what I can do with the spirit of my flesh, nobody can. That's why if I have to go anywhere, travel anywhere, and I haven't probably returned, it doesn't mean I'm not supposed to be myself. It will tell how the distance or what it is, the kind of world, or it's just to say, if you don't have anybody to keep on the creation aspect, it won't get to that level the Lord wish you have it. It won't work like that. Somebody has to create in their level with just in his silence and have to make sure it works. So getting it to the level that it should work, not to fail. So we got into another session where we have to do it. So I just have to do this, and the surprises here. This is what I typed. I was decoding this one. I was just decoding the enlil. I was decoding it, and I put it things like this and said what that should be in written form in number, and immediately it pop up the number that is representing enlil, which is 50, because the 50 also right there. As it will surprise you when you hear that I mentioned in the conversation 50 cents, like, and I told you what the healing is with the 50. That smallest thing that you were thinking, yeah, that was what the healing was reserved. And no surprising to also come across it again right here in it. So just having this to be reading in number form, then they tell you what that release an ancient Mesopotamian god of wind and earth, or the geodeity for wind and earth, also represented in what sacred numerical form as 50. And then I told you that why the US flag is 50 stars, and that you need to add more because of a year or generation the Lord returned to himself. And also he was the chief deity of the Sumerian pantheon, also often titled Lord of the Air, and then the great mountain as it is more to it, and the kings of the gods of the geodies, that his name was sometimes written directly with the counted from sign for 50. So that's exactly what we have had to say it is in the law. You won't be surprised if you are not learning. So having the rule that the numerical representation is also what, or maybe the numerical representation is what, in the Mesopotamian astrological theological system, major, like we're talking about this word major gods or the major geodies and CODs or 90s were assigned numbers. Enlil was identified to what? With the number 50. Look at the origin of the reality with myself. Placing what? Him in the highest tier of the deity ranking. This is never happened anyway. And then also that role he played, let's say role, he was considered what? A creator, a destroyer, and then the decreer for faith. Who do you know is faith? They are spirit living creatures that is faith. When you get these people, they can grab you. So I know them. I know these ones. I know them, like I'm saying. They can touch you and you cannot touch them. They can touch you like the faithful. And whether they are died with the skeleton, whatever, when the time for rising life comes, they will touch you. They will be grabbing you like, that's where you feel the bones of a skeleton touching your flesh. Then you only feel their bony, substance. Yeah, you have it like it's supernatural. And then they tell you how they're living. So when flesh comes, then they will put on flesh again. That's the magical level again. And this also who controlled storms and granted kingship. That's why in Konya, I told you, in Konya is the one who made what? Kings. Especially when it comes to temple. That's what it is. We made the white people kings. We made them. I'm telling you, we made them. Now, center for worship, that is his primary temple was the what? The Ekar. Or you want to say Ekar or Ikar or Ikuri. You can put it that way. Any of that. I also write it. So whatever you need to do to understand it is when you are obeying the law as a virgin, keeping it. That's why I say there's no generation, anybody that sin against, they will be forgiven because you don't know what I am. Because when you don't see what I can do in distraction, that's why you don't know who I am. How can I sit here and tell you the number and then we go in the work and his identity is the number represented is 50? How do you know better than myself? And then we have it like so that the center, as it continues to say, that also on the mountains or mountain house. That's why it's in Nkoya there. All these things. And I have it. Now located also in the city, even they are called Nepal. So when that's this Nepal, also you're gonna have there's a Nepal, also in India. However, Nkoya is the origin for almost everything. Where did I come from? I'm the one proving what nobody can do. How can you tell what is written in the times? And I have to seek it, even I have to say it live before we come to what? Searching one of them, and then I was just saying what? So to decoding it, and then we get the number 50. Do you think that they should just do things according to what I'm doing, or it is in their time already, history, that what he has been given, that is it? You cannot say somebody else is doing this, as I cannot agree. So the end of the broadcast, right here, you've seen the miracle nobody can do. This is where if a God is talking, tell me, I say you should keep quiet. I know what they are saying. I know what it is. If they make it so simple for your mouth or tongue, that either pepper, salt, and taste to be talking here, their judgment, I will be right there. To have them also, who said they know who, we will have to show it. If you don't know distraction, the Lord is with us.